Am I the asshole for calling a guy an idiot for traumatizing his kid and getting him in trouble with his wife? I was at an observation deck yesterday. It's one of those that has a glass floor as part of it. There was a guy there trying to get his wife and kid to go on the glass floor so he could take a picture. Kid looked about 3 and terrified. His wife was not interested either. When she went to the bathroom, he picked up his kid and went on the glass floor. The kid was frozen stiff and looked pale as a ghost. The dad got his selfie though. When he walked by me, I was telling my boyfriend that if we got married and had kids and he did something so idiotic and traumatizing to our kids, I would be pissed. The guy overheard me and said I should mind my own business. I said I wasn't talking to him. But I did repeat myself and say that he was an idiot for putting his child in such a scary place, when the kid obviously didn't want to be there. By this time his wife had come out and she heard us arguing. Then she got pissed off at him for doing this against their kid's obvious desire. We walked away, but my boyfriend said I shouldn't have started shit with some random guy terrorizing his own kid. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. Guy was being a selfish asshole. Maybe you weren't the best source to hear it from, but he needed to hear it nonetheless. Not the asshole. More people should be called on their bad behavior in public. And that guy was doing something he knew his wife would not have wanted. And that poor child. Maybe you calling him out will keep him from being such an R in the future. Keep starting shit in public. Tell your boyfriend I said to leave you alone. He interrupted a conversation you were having with your BF. He chose to bring you into the situation. So you had the right to defend yourself and what you said in a private conversation. That dad was in a hole twice. Not the asshole. My dad dragging me out onto a glass floor in the CN Tower is why I now have a fear of heights. 30 years later. Not the asshole at all. The guy was behaving very cruelly to his kid and his wife needed to know he was an untrustworthy parent. Good job, op. Not the asshole. He probably thought it was funny. My father did stuff like that to us. Shoved dead spiders in our faces and such. Did you say it intentionally for him to overhear it? Or did it just happen that you were saying it and he walked on by? Not the asshole. That's just cruel. Not the asshole. I feel like you should have told him personally rather than him overhearing your conversation with your boyfriend. Although I totally agree with you. He had no reason to get his child shook just for a photo. It simply isn't necessary. Noting that it was a selfie and wife would likely have seen it eventually. Not the asshole. I love when people call out shit parenting. Even if it's an accidental call out. Good job, op. Not the asshole. He was the one not minding his business. You're the asshole and you wanted him to hear you. The glass can be scary. I get it. But it's safe and I doubt the kid is traumatized because of it. Passing judgment on people parenting their kids is usually a big you're the asshole for me. Stop being so judgmental in life. You don't know the background there. Maybe he was a jerk, or maybe he wanted to get his kid out of their comfort zone and experience something different, even if it was uncomfortable. There are a ton of things you have to teach your kids that are deeply uncomfortable and scary to them. Like swimming and riding a bike, for example. So stop being a gossip queen of how people are doing their parenting. You're the asshole. Traumatizing has lost its meaning. I was scared of water slides and my dad always pushed me in the beginning and I'm glad he did it. So it's more of a the parent might know better situation, IG. You're the asshole. Don't be passive aggressive like that. You're the asshole. And you really should mind your own business. You don't know that kid. You don't know that parent. My 4-year-old would look terrified too, but if I picked him up and brought him out even after he says no, he would be just fine. I'm shocked at the people in the comments saying this is abuse lol. Everyone wants to be a victim these days, IG. You're the asshole. Stop poking your head in other people's business. Kid was not in danger. I may be downvoted into oblivion by your fellow queen cards. But you should hear this. I bet when you were all I was telling my boyfriend that if we got married and had kid, your boyfriend went in his head if. You're the asshole. Mind your own business. Same kind of person who would be crying here to Reddit if someone said something to you didn't like. Your boyfriend was the one to say something. Ever consider you just embarrassed him along with yourself? You're the asshole, making mountain out of a molehill, and your BF correct. Not the asshole H. This is really a no you kid moment. I have 6. 2 of them would have thought it was the best and would have gone out. No problem. 2 kids would have liked it once I pushed the issue. 1 would have hated it. And the last one would like it sometimes and hated it others. Depending on the circumstances. This could be an NTA, ESH, or YTA. You're the asshole. Kids need to be exposed to safe but scary things. Young minds rot in the comfort zone. The child isn't traumatized. He's mildly unnerved and has low emotional self-regulation because he's a toddler. You're an R. The mother is well-intentioned but wrong. And that kid is better off than yours will be. People with no youngsters telling people how to raise their kids. YTA. You're the asshole. The kid wasn't in danger. You were obviously talking loud enough for him to overhear. Probably purposely whether conscious or unconscious of the fact. And you definitely weren't minding your own business. Not even sure how this will traumatize the kid. Kids are scared of all kinds of stupid shit, and when their parents don't get them through it, they grow up to be scared adults that try to justify being afraid. You're the asshole. You have no business shooting your mouth off purposely so the guy could hear it. If you want to comment, wait till he's gone. You were hoping he would overhear your comments so you could start an argument. And show what a kind, concerned person you are. You're the asshole. Mind your own business next time. What he did or didn't do has nothing to do with you unless the child was in actual danger and you confronting him in front of other people is out of line. You're the asshole. Mind your own fucking business. Not the asshole. Bad parenting needs to be called out more often. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. We all need to stand up again and start to not accept this shit in public. Not the asshole. I will add though, OP, that it sounds like, in your own words, there was arguing between you and the guy. Maybe even more important for when you have kids is showing composure and properly handling yourself in public. You said what you needed to and he heard you. Life should have moved on. It sounds like your partner may have been embarrassed a bit too. You can be right. But write privately. With respect to lessons for kids, I think both you and the guy would take an L with how it went down. Am I the asshole for forcing my daughter to return what she stole on her birthday? So I took my 13-year-old daughter to the mall for her birthday with a few of her friends. I don't particularly like her friends. But that's irrelevant. Anyway, they were having fun. They bought some makeup and tried on clothes. I bought 'em a couple outfits each, but nothing super expensive. Then I noticed my daughter pocketing a lip gloss. I got really mad. Usually I don't get mad, and I asked her in a pretty loud voice what she was doing. She said nothing. And I made her turn out her pockets. And then I made her return it and apologize. A lot of people in the store were watching, and so were her friends. Luckily the store people didn't make it a huge deal and we left. We went home straight away after that. And after we dropped off her friends, my daughter was really angry with me. She said I ruined her birthday and that I could have scolded her for stealing the lip gloss later. When we were alone, she said it didn't really matter that much and now her friends would tell everyone. And they'd all look down on her. I remember middle school and how much it sucked. She might lose friends over this. Am I the asshole for not handling it in a quieter way? Not the asshole. Store likely didn't kick up a fuss because you were a parent actually watching their kid who called 'em out when they stole. You did the hard part for them, and public shaming is way more effective than anything they could do. Your daughter got some nerve to not only steal, but to also do it in front of a parent. Not the asshole. You didn't ruin her birthday, she ruined her own birthday by stealing. Her friends might tell everyone she is a thief and they might look down on her for that, and she has learned a very important message: don't steal. If a security guard had caught her instead of you, there would have been a different outcome. You handled this perfectly. You made a scene and made her return the item and apologize in front of her friends. Snee might be angry and a bit embarrassed right now, but she has just found out that this behavior is unacceptable. Not the asshole. Birthday girls don't get a free pass on shoplifting. And if she was that afraid of what her friends would say, she shouldn't have shoplifted while she was with them, which could have led to their getting in trouble too. Your daughter's behavior and response make me think that this probably wasn't her first time doing this, and that you probably can't blame this on the influence of her friends. If I were you, I'd be scrutinizing what's going on with her. Your 13-year-old scolded you for parenting her when she was stealing right in front of you. I would tell her she's in trouble for stealing and for how she's behaving. She has no one to blame but herself. Not the asshole. If she's angry at anyone, it's herself. Actions have consequences. Better to be embarrassed at 13 than in jail at 33. Good job, Mom. Not the asshole. Your daughter was stealing and you took the appropriate action. The only person your daughter should be mad at or embarrassed by is herself. She's lucky it was you and not store security or police. This was an amazing piece of parenting. I hope it traumatized her so much that she never does it again. Not the asshole. And well done. Not the asshole. Actions have consequences. Not the asshole. Your kid was stealing, so she's lucky it was you and not the store security that made a scene about it. Nope. Not the asshole. This is something you handle immediately. All of the embarrassment and shame were caused by her actions. I would let her know that now she has to build your trust up again, because you will not be taking her to the store or shopping again for a while. She needs quite the grounding for this. Not the asshole. She was doing wrong and got caught, so she faced the consequences. Not the asshole. And great work on this one. Right in the moment, your daughter will be better off without those type of friends, especially at a very young and vulnerable age. Not the asshole. She is lucky you saw her and not security. She would have gotten in real trouble. Not the asshole. You did exactly what a parent should do and taught her a valuable lesson. If she feels shame, she should. And it should serve as a lifelong reminder to her to not be a thief. She ruined her birthday by stealing. Does she seriously thinks it's acceptable to do that? And then also get mad at you? Wow. Not the asshole. She ruined her own birthday. My parents probably would have taken it a step further and returned the clothes you actually bought her. Probably a little harsh, but she is a teenager. You were all there and you were obviously willing to spend money on her and her friends, so it's clear she didn't have to steal. Not the asshole. You were being her parent rather than her friend. Kudos. In tar, kids need to learn that actions have consequences. Not the asshole. It's your job as a parent to guide your children, and that's exactly what you did. She might hate you in the moment, but in the long run she will be grateful for the lesson. Not the asshole. If she's dumb enough to steal with you beside her, who knows who else would have caught her? It's a good lesson to learn. Albeit an unfortunately tragic event for a 13-year-old. But isn't everything? Not the asshole. Your daughter was already being given lots of new clothes for her birthday, as were her friends. But she decided to shoplift, too. If she didn't want to get called out for stealing, great. Don't steal. That was her choice and she gets to have the consequences of that choice. If her friends don't want to be friends with a thief, maybe they're better kids than you thought. The audacity to be pissed at you because she got caught stealing is nuts. She needs some real intervention now, before she gets herself in real trouble. Not the asshole. She has experienced the consequences of her actions. Not your fault. Not the asshole. It's good that you show her that actions have consequences. Not the asshole. She ruined her own birthday. Not the asshole. Why the hell would you think you're the asshole here? Not the asshole. You acted like a responsible parent. Not the asshole. The problem with many people today is their parents did not do what you did. Good job, Mom. Of course she thinks you shouldn't have told her off and should have waited. She's embarrassed that she got caught stealing and had to face consequences. 13 is more than old enough to know that stealing is illegal wrong. Not the asshole. You did good. Don't think I'd let her go shopping without you for a while though. Not the asshole. Tell her what she did is called stealing and it's a crime. Better you nip this in the bud now before she continues. Honestly, you need to have a serious conversation with her about why she's doing this before she lands herself and you in trouble. Also tell her that what's more embarrassing is being arrested for theft, so she got a lucky break. Not the asshole. And good on you for immediately putting your daughter on the spot. Actions have consequences. Officer, I know I beat up this man, but it's my birthday. You see? Probably wouldn't fly either. Not the asshole. Perfect response, and if it causes her to lose the friends you don't like, all the better. My guess is she'll think twice about shoplifting in the future. Am I the asshole for making my mom cry after she asked me if I was gay? I am not gay. I'm not ace or bi. I'm straight. I just want to make that clear before people suggest I might be anything other than heterosexual. And obviously nothing's wrong with being gay. But I'm not. Despite this, I haven't ever really been in a relationship or dated. I struggle a lot with women. So it's not much a surprise to me. But it is to my family. My brothers both are in relationships. My oldest was already dating his wife when he was my age. My other older brother has never had issues finding women to like him. The difference is that I'm a lot less physically attractive than they are and I'm more introverted. As a result of bullying throughout my entire life because of that. I have been told I'm ugly throughout my entire life. Even by random people in passing. I've come to some level of peace with it so around. My family are constantly asking why I don't date, and I always avoid just outright saying I'm ugly. And girls don't like me. One of the biggest suspicions they have about me is that I'm gay. I don't know why, but since I've never dated in high school, that was always a question. I moved back in with my parents after graduating. I'm planning on moving out soon. But my job in a different area isn't letting me start until November, so I'm working a different job until then and saving money. I haven't done much since graduation other than work, and my parents are upset that I don't have a social life right now. So my mom sat me down and tried to have a heart-to-heart with me about my situation. She told me that she feels like I'm not making the most out of my life and said that she thinks that I'm afraid to be myself around them and that's stifling my ability to live. She said that she really wants me to be happy and find friends and a partner. Then she said that it didn't matter which gender that the partner was as long as I was happy. This came across as an accusation of me being gay. I asked what she meant by that, and she said that she wants me to know that if I live a different lifestyle by myself, I don't have to hide it, and she'd be happy as long as I brought someone home who I loved and who loved me. Again, she's calling me gay. So I shut that down. I kinda snapped as I'm so tired of it. I snapped at her that I'm not gay and that I don't need her to monitor everything in my life. I said that it's none of her business why I'm single. But if she really cares that much, it's because I'm too ugly for women to want to date me. And since there's nothing that can be done about it, she needs to drop it. She got very upset and apologized. That evening I got a call from my oldest brother demanding I apologize to my mom. He said she was trying to be supportive and I was a huge dick to her. I said she was in the setting for the constant accusations and prying. Am I the asshole? I kinda snapped. Nah. Sounds like a normal interaction to me. Normal as in a normal tough conversation between parent and child. She was trying to be supportive but kept pushing something that bothered you. And you snapped at her about backing off. It happens. No one did anything extreme. An apology for snapping sounds appropriate, but that's about all that seems necessary. During that conversation, you could also gently let her know that you'd appreciate it if she backed off on the other stuff as well. You're the asshole. Apologize to your mom for snapping at her. Thank her for her concern, but your issue is not being gay. Find a counselor to help you work on your self-esteem. Even if you are too ugly. Ugly people have relationships all over the world. I, for example, can curdle milk just by walking past it with my face exposed. Somehow manage to maintain a relationship. You're the asshole. I can't tell you why your family think this, but they did the correct thing if you were. You aren't. You bit your mum's head off when they were trying to be supportive. You seem more concerned with being labeled as gay than your mum giving you some heart-to-heart moment. You're the asshole. Your mum pretty much just told her that she loved you and she wants you to be happy and supports you. Also, if you have that attitude, you are not gonna find anyone. You don't have to be the most handsome man. You have to be nice, kind, ambitious, have self-confidence, etc. That's way more important than looks. Just to let you know, the way you've laid out the situation, your mum sounds like she really loves and cares about you. Asshole or not, don't let this come between you. She's in your corner and just wants what is best for you. You're the asshole. If it was your friends asking if you were gay for the millionth time in a dumbass way, snapping would be more appropriate. Your mom was just being your mom. Good parents are often worried that their children aren't happy in life, so it sounds like she was doing a wellness check while also throwing it out there that if you were gay, she'd be supportive and you'd still be her son. Apologize to her. Explain why you got so heated about it and that it wasn't because of her. Regardless of who the asshole is, if you don't change your perspective, you're headed down the incel path. Plenty of women value a good personality over looks. And the ones who don't aren't worth your time. If people aren't showing interest, ask yourself if you could change anything about your behavior that would fix that. And make sure you take care of yourself. Not the asshole. You're 22. What does it matter if you don't date? Not everyone has to revolve their lives around finding a mate. Are you happy with your current life and the way it is heading? If the answer is yes, you're good to go. If the answer is no, what parts would you like to change? It is weird to me that your mom wants you to get laid so bad, instead of encouraging you to work on your career and starting off adulthood life on a good note, before looking for someone to add to your life. Not the asshole. It gets fucking annoying when people constantly bring up a lack of a partner. You've made a point of why you were single before. They should have left it at that. It's none of their business. There's been threads before where the OP is a woman, and there wasn't AITA to be seen. Honestly, I don't blame you for snapping. This narrative that people run with, thinking that someone must be gay just because they don't see out with women, is tiring ASF. Just because someone doesn't date does not mean they're gay. I'm 31 years old and my parents has never questioned me about dating or asked if I was gay because they don't see me dating. They don't ask because they know it's not any of their business, and if I wanted them to know, I would tell them. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Seems like there's been multiple times it's been insinuated that you are homosexual. I would have snapped eventually too. She'll be okay. Not the asshole. I'd suggest posting this again in a while and change it to you being gay. And your mother trying to say you were straight. Watch how different your answers will be. Not the asshole. First, it's really not her place to even ask such a thing. If my boys were gay and felt they could not come to me, my badgering them would not have helped. The fact that she went crying to your brother about this tells me she's far too into your personal business and that of all her children. Second, why you do or do not date is not a problem for your parents to solve. Third, I know plenty of people who would tell me they are not attractive, but they are. Plenty of others that think they are hot, but are not. Beauty is also tremendously subjective. Brad Pitt is a butterface to me. You're the asshole. Sounds like she just cares about you and wants you to know she loves you no matter what. Not the asshole. There's nothing wrong with being single. Am I the asshole for calling my stepsister the ugly stepsister because she freaked out over a nickname? My F29 family jokingly refers to me as Princess the Princess, because I have a reputation for being opinionated and sensitive. This is mostly because of sensory issues. So certain noises or textures grate on me to an extent that I will leave the room or avoid touching things. I'm also just a picky person and I like things how I like them. So my stepdad started referring to me as the princess. Like, don't open the car window. The princess will get upset. My stepbrothers and mum use it as well. It's a running family joke. Well meant. I've never been offended by it in the 15 years it's been a thing. My stepsister, Georgia F30, hates it. She used to snap whenever anyone said it, but over the years she just started making the odd passive aggressive comment about it. Everyone ignores it. Because Georgia has a habit of thinking everything is about her. And if it's not about her, the reason it's not about her is because we all hate her. Which then is still about her. So, our whole family is visiting my parents in the countryside for a couple of weeks. Georgia has brought her boyfriend Jason along. I've met Jason a couple of times before at dinners and he's a nice guy. And he's fit in well. This morning, me and my mum were making breakfast and Jason came down and to help out. We normally have breakfast in the kitchen diner, so eventually everyone started gathering at the table. We always make the tea and coffee last so it's hot when we eat, and we had all the mugs out and Jason offered to make the drinks. I told him not to do mine because I liked it made a very particular way. And he said, "Okay princess, I will just watch how you do it so I know for next time," and we laughed. It was a joke. The next thing we know, Georgia shouts she's sick of everyone calling me. She then swore at Jason for being just like them us. She said, "Since everyone thinks I'm so special, what does that make her?" And I replied, "The ugly stepsister." Obviously, no one said anything. But Georgia burst into tears, pushed her plate onto the floor, broke it, and went upstairs. And Jason ran after her. He's since come down to apologize for her. She hasn't come out of her room. My stepbrothers are on my side. The parents say I should have just not said anything and she would have calmed down. And that I went too far picking at an insecurity. That might be true. But I'm sick of her making everything about her. The joke doesn't have anything to do with her. And I am, as are my stepbrothers, sick of her acting out to force everyone to behave how she wants them to. Am I the R for taking the argument there? You're the asshole. You called her ugly. But your story really paints you as the ugly stepsister, opinionated, sensitive, and calling people names. You're the asshole and people calling you princess are tar too. Even though you're not offended. It doesn't sound like a term of endearment or something when being used the way you describe. I might be wrong. But to me it sounds belittling. Anyway, definitely YTA for the ugly stepsister comment. As an actual non-attractive ugly person, I can vouch that even as a joke that would feel horrible to hear. You're the asshole. It sounds like your stepsister is constantly feeling ignored because you're the princess of the family. And I get it based on everything you said. It seems like you always get your way because you are picky and sensitive. And then to insult her afterwards is just way too far. It also seems like everything is about you, as you are the princess as they refer to you. You're the asshole. Being not offended when someone refers to you as princess is not the same thing as not taking offense when someone calls you an ugly stepsister. You know she hates the princess thing. Ovs. And it's pretty clear that it's BC she's jealous. Now she has to listen to her boyfriend also call you princess and hear you insult her. What a family. You know what you could have said when she asked what she was? Another princess. Since we're sisters. Silly. You're the asshole. What you said makes you the ugliest stepsister. You're the asshole. Being overly picky doesn't make you special or give you the right to call someone else ugly. Apologize and mean it. It's because we all hate her. If your parents have confirmed this, then it's you and them that are the problem. You're the asshole. You say she always makes everything about her. But it sounds like it's always about you. Princess this. Princess that. Sounds a bit self-centered. No. You're the asshole. Such a mean girl's moment. You're the asshole. You could have gone with invisible. Ignored. Former. Forgotten. Og princess. You didn't have to say ugly while flirting with her boyfriend. Clearly after the merged family, she felt replaced as the only girl by a high-maintenance person who now gets all the attention. Info. Has anyone asked why you sarcastically being called princess bothers her? Was it a pet name used for her by her dad? And then your stepdad started calling you that instead? Has she always felt in competition of you? You're the asshole. I was going to say kids are going to be kids. Then I saw you are a grown adult. Really? Picking on appearances. What is this? Grade school? You're the asshole. Calling your sister like that makes you the ugly stepsister honestly. Her BF also sucks. When is clear there is resentment about a joke that she has been ranting about for a while. And being ignored. But it shows you nor your family care at all about how this joke makes her feel, and to top it you called her ugly, mean and You're the asshole reread the post everything is about you. You're the asshole. The ugly stepsister, obviously. You're the asshole. That comment wasn't necessary. You picked at an insecurity and hit home hard. Meanwhile, your nickname really has no bad meaning or association tied to it. She probably feels insignificant to you. And you just doubled down on making her feel lesser. The projection in this post is off the charts. Your sister isn't the one making everything about her. You make everything about you. Also, I cannot believe that at 29 years old you thought it was appropriate to tell your sister that she was the ugly stepsister. Nor can I believe that you don't see the problem there. I'm confused as to why you accuse someone of making everything about her, when you're the one in charge as princess of the castle. And you think the princess nickname is well meant. It is a coping mechanism to help everyone around you deal with your pickiness. They're laughing at you so they don't get irritated every time you dictate your preferences. You seem to think princess is a literal description of your role within the family. Georgia is the only one not playing along here. Crazy. The kind thing to say would have been a princess's sister is also a princess. You're the asshole. I find it funny that you say that everything revolves around her, when it sounds more like everything revolves around you and your pickiness. And while she did overreact, this is likely just the straw that broke the camel's back, and calling her the ugly stepsister made it so much worse. She probably has felt consistently less important than you. Are you autistic? Info. How completely horrible are you when you don't have your sensitivities catered to? Am I the asshole for not inviting my friend's husband to my birthday party? Okay, so I turn 21 tomorrow and I'm having a party on Saturday to celebrate. I invited a good amount of people. But my mom needed a list of approximately how many people are coming for how much food she's gonna cook and how many drinks my dad needs to get. Plus, my house is not big at all. So, I invited 5 of my aunts and 7 of my friends. However, I texted one of the 7 friends saying, hey, I'm having my 21st birthday party on Saturday and I'd really enjoy it if you came, so she texts me back, okay, we'll be there. I'm just thinking, who's we? I then asked her what she meant by that and if she was referring to her and her husband. She says yes. I had to break it to her that there's only a certain amount of people allowed to come over because I already have a list planned out. Plus, there's not gonna be any guys at the party except my dad. And I'm sure my friend's husband would feel out of place. I have absolutely nothing against the guy. He's chill and has always been nice to me. But like I said, there's only so many people that can come. I asked my friend to please not be mad. My friend texted me back, giving me a bit of an attitude. She said, I'm not mad. I'm just upset. Because when you gave me the invitation, I automatically assumed you meant me and husband could come. So I had to break it down to her and say, dude, I'm not trying to be a jerk. But if I wanted to invite you and your husband, I would have said that I wanted you and him or both of y'all in the invite. But I said you. It's not that I have anything against him. It's just that I invited you only and that's it. I sent her that text. And she hasn't answered. Am I the asshole in this situation? I mean, not to be that person. But my God. It's my party. My list and everything. What the heck do I do? Thanks to everyone's answers in advance. Edit. Hey y'all. So I've gotten a good 50 of people saying I'm not the asshole. And another good 50 of people saying I am tar. Either way, the people on the second 50 made some good points and I tried to follow the advice they gave. So, I texted my friend, saying, hey, I'm sorry I didn't make myself clear enough. And I'm really sorry if I came off as rude, disrespectful. I've come to realize that now these days that when a couple is married, you is plural for both people. Which I didn't know at first. You no longer have to come if you don't want to. But regardless, I just wanted to own up and apologize. Have a good night. I hope this helps settle everything. Thank you guys for the help. I appreciate it. Nah, but as you get older you'll realize that couples, especially married long term, are usually a package deal and assume to be invited together. Nah. But if I got a few days notice about a party and found out my wife wasn't invited, I probably wouldn't go. I'd rather hang out with my wife than not. Not the asshole. You will run into this problem more often the older you get. Specifying it's a ladies' night is an easy way around it. Not the asshole. I feel like this is an old person thing. I'm 22F and married. If someone, especially a girlfriend, invited me out over, I would assume my husband isn't invited unless specified. And I would ask if I wanted him to tag along. I love my husband so much. But he doesn't need to go to all my friends' events. And vice versa. Not the asshole. All these people saying married couples are a package deal are a bit much. I think this might be an American cultural thing. Just because someone is married doesn't mean their spouse is automatically invited to everything. I've never experienced this before and TBH I find it a bit weird. Married people are not one conjoined person. Info. How well do you know her husband? Are you friends with him independently? Like, would you be comfortable if you had to chat alone in a room with him? OMG, I'm shocked by the general consensus here. I'm curious the AVG age of commenter. Maybe it's me being younger, but the friend is tar to me, or at least nah. I have not once assumed an invitation extended to my so unless specified. If a female friend of mine invited me to her party, I would not assume she'd want my so too. This is all so weird. I get couples package deal often for weddings, big events, etc. But a friend's B-day party who isn't even a mutual friend. So odd. Seems old school. Honestly, as a married woman, I hate when my friends bring their boyfriends to a girls' night out. I rarely drag my husband along when I'm out with my friends. He hates it my friends' boyfriends are so IDK temporary. So he doesn't bother engaging more than small talk, which is a chore in itself. Not the asshole, but I guess you'll have to be more aware clear in the future. Entire. Your party, your rules. I never understand the whole either it's both of us or none of us package. It's bullshit. If my Jeef's friends invited her to a birthday party, I would assume it's only for her. IDK who her friend is. I ain't crashing an unknown's party. Also, same vice versa. My GF knows she is gonna be party crashing. So she assumes she isn't invited unless it's specifically stated for both of us. Nah, but it might have softened the blow to tell her it was a girl party. No one is bringing a so. Not the asshole. Couples don't need to go to every event together FFS. Not the asshole friend shouldn't have assumed you meant both of them, and even if she did assume that, he had no reason to be upset that only she got an invite. It's not like it's some rager. Not the asshole. People who turn into an unbreakable we when they get married are insufferable. If I have to be friends with 2 people or 0 people, I'm probably picking 0. Not the asshole. I'm married and my husband and I do everything together. But if I got invited somewhere and he wasn't invited for the reasons you stated, I wouldn't be mad at all. I think your friend overreacted. Your follow-up text was very nice. If she is still upset, I wouldn't feel bad at all. You did the right thing. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, it's your special day. And just because say they are married doesn't mean that they are connected at the hip. I'm married and we don't assume our invite is for both of unless it states for both of us. Not the asshole. I don't get this need for mostly monogamous couples to be extremely codependent and have to go to events together. Not the asshole, it's your party. Invite who you want besides. Less guests means more cake for you. Enjoy party popper shortcake. Nice update. Not the asshole. If I want to invite me married friend and you wife to something, I refer to them both. If I just want him, I will say you. A lot of married people do believe they come as a package deal. Where your friend was getting upset about it. When my wife's friend doesn't invite me to the party, I am super happy not to have to make small talk with other husbands I wouldn't hang out with. Otherwise, I take the kids and we go to Chuck E. Cheese or the movies and have a blast without mom. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. I don't get why the assumption from the guests for 2 people is a given. If they want their spouse to come, they should confirm from their end. Am I the asshole for having a baby shower and not inviting my pregnant ex? So my ex and I are currently expecting a baby and she's 26 weeks along. I am the last only person in friendship group and family in my generation and above who hasn't had a kid yet, so everyone's quite excited and they decided to throw me a baby shower just for bants. They told me they wanted to throw me one and asked if they should invite my ex. I said no because well no. We've agreed to co-parent, but we can and should keep some things separate if not necessary to include one another, and this was just with my friends and family. So they threw me this baby shower and it was honestly quite some fun. It was all just jokes and bants. We had a great lunch. Had some drinks, treats, and the gift giving. It was more of a celebratory party of me finally joining the parent club than anything. We took a bunch of funny parody-type pictures of typical baby shower photo shoots like one with my stomach out and my friends were feeling the baby and one of me under baby shower banner with all the balloons and gifts etc. These were obviously posted and my ex saw them and didn't like it. To say the least, she thinks I'm a dickhead for having a baby shower one at all because I refused to throw her one or help contribute and two without her since I'm not the one pregnant and apparently the photos were sexist and insulting. I get it but also don't think it's that big of a deal. AITA Info. Was it your decision or hers to break up? I can see why she would feel particularly put out if you got her pregnant, dumped her, then had a baby shower to celebrate your impending fatherhood. IDK kinda. I think you did it more out of pettiness. She's the mother of your child. And having her there would be co-parenting. You should do what you can to help her BC. That's what's ultimately best for your child. Don't be surprised when she excludes you from future events. Info. What did she mean by you not contributing? I get that she's your ex. But the least you could do is appreciate the fact that she's undergoing 9 months of unpleasant pregnancy symptoms, health risk, and pain so that she can give life to your guy's child. Don't act like a child yourself. And try to empathize with her situation. You say you're going to co-parent, but I'll bet she feels like she's bearing the weight of this hardship alone, as well as feeling mocked and undermined. Yes, this is your kid as well. But don't act like you're the one carrying it. I honestly feel bad for your ex. You're the asshole. You have to co-parent with this person for a very long time. You couldn't have been the bigger person in this instance. WTF is a bant. I can't find it anywhere on Google. You're the asshole from the post. It sounds like she didn't get a baby shower, so I totally get why it's insulting. It also sounds like your friends and family would have invited her if it wasn't for your no. Maybe stop thinking of her as your ex and more the mother of your child. I don't think this story will age well when your kid asks why you had a baby shower and their mother didn't. You're the asshole. As someone else said, it's in bad taste. I can't even imagine what the guests were thinking. It's just so trashy. Like, I get that people break up. But damn. You guys couldn't even play nice during the pregnancy. We all know it's going to be a shit show after the baby is born. And you wanted a separate party to make sure that you were the one getting the expensive and valuable gifts. Yes. You're going to need 2 sets. But the focus isn't even on the baby anymore. It's just all so fucking weird. Never in my life have I heard of a baby shower for just one man. You're the asshole Esh because you clearly have unresolved issues with your ex that is going to make co-parenting very shitty for you both if you keep playing silly games like this. I just hope she's not as petty as OP because she can very well withhold having him in the delivery room when it's time to have baby. I'm 27 weeks myself and IDK, I guess I'd be pretty petty. You talk about co-parenting, but look at what you're doing before the baby even gets here. I feel for this baby already. Good luck. Thumbs up. Light skin tone. Looking forward to seeing this on our Am I the Devil? Tears of joy. You're the asshole. You're the asshole. What you did was just so weird. Your poor child's mother. Go bring her flowers or something and maybe some baby gifts for her since she's the one doing all the hard work carrying and nurturing the baby inside her maybe. WTF. Photos with them touching your belly. WTF, I'm cringing. P's waiting to find her post on Breaking Mom. You're the asshole. I might have misunderstood your post. But it sounds as if you are treating your ex as a surrogate mother for a child that's only yours, and not the actual mother of your child. You can't pretend she doesn't exist. No matter why you broke up. You are going to mentally and emotionally damage the child if this continues when it is old enough to understand. YTA. You are so selfish. Your well-being of the mother should be your priority. You act like you are doing something. Baby's font share custody. I can't really put my finger on it, but I'm getting a big ick from this post. Woozy face. Gonna have to go with a light. You're the asshole. Your friends and family that planned this were willing to include her, but you told them no. So it feels a little disingenuous to be like, this was a party to celebrate me becoming a parent. It is a party to celebrate the baby on the way. If you want a healthy co-parenting relationship, inviting her would have been a nice start. Stuff like this just leads to nitpicky tit for tat. You're the asshole. That's hilarious. You and your boys can get drunk and fuck around while she is growing a child. How fun for you to be partying it up when the baby is born and your ex is the primary caregiver, while you take silly pictures. If you want to be a good co-parent, now is the time to start. LMAO, you threw yourself a baby shower and didn't even invite the pregnant party. You're the asshole. Are you sure that you're mature enough to be a father? You're not acting like a good co-parent. Acting more childish than anything. You're the asshole. I feel like you already knew that. She is carrying your child and you're over here acting childish. You're the asshole. Info. What are you doing to support her throughout the pregnancy? Are you just ignoring her until the birth, or are you going to appointments? Making sure she's taking vitamins. Making sure she's well fed. Driving her places if she can't anymore. Going to birthing classes and parenting classes. TBH, I've never heard of a baby shower where the baby wasn't present, so I'm leaning YTA unless it really was more of a stag party vibe. You're the asshole, and whether you're actually this dense or whether you just play dim as an excuse, I feel sorry for your ex being tied to you for the next 18 years. I mean, you're celebrating something that she's doing all the work for, so I'd say you're the asshole. Even if it was cheeky. You're the asshole. Not because you had a party and didn't invite her, but because you aren't contributing to care of her while she's pregnant. She's your ex. And I get that. But she is currently carrying your child. And what she does or does not have seriously affects how she can care for said child while it's in her custody. Do you seriously not care if the baby has access to bottles, a car seat, or a safe place to sleep while away from you? If this is how you plan to county parent, you should look up what the co-part of that word actually means.